Alright, Amigo Vanin, everyone. Welcome back to more adventures in Eora with Melora, the wizard, human wizard. It is November 14, 2025. I wanted to show this beginning because, as you can see, if you go back to the first episode, you will see the menu is different. I think I got some of the menu right. I now have the March, or the White March. The White March, all of it. You know, I think there's two expansions for it. So I have them both, as well as whatever the Royal Edition. Well, not Royal, because I upgraded to Definitive Edition, which includes the Royal Edition and the 2 expansions, so whatever the Royal Edition came with, and everything below the Royal Edition, whatever it had there, I was able to get that for a very cheap price, too good to pass up. So, but yes, let us now continue. I think that intro, or that menu screen with the snow and everything looks fantastic, so I love that. So last episode, I cleared things up. Eothas, or how do you pronounce his name again? Eothas, and I straightened things out with the one who's holding the grain, and the people in the some of the townspeople, they were having an issue with the prices of the grain, so we cleared that up. And I also looked something up because I was wondering if I missed my chance to get Aedyr, and I don't. I have to get to a certain point in the game, like start one quest, which now I forgot the name, but that's okay. I'm glad that I don't remember, so it will all kind of be a surprise to me, but I just know that I didn't miss my chance to get Aedyr. And let me look at my own personal notes here. Gained an ally, okay. And I have to be sure to return to that bear cave with a full party. So I think I won't do that until I, at the very least, get Aedyr. But I may even wait a little bit longer than that until I get another, in addition to getting Aedyr, getting at least another party member or 2. And for the quest, where am I? Okay, Visions and Whispers. After surviving an explosion outside the ruins of Lys, I experienced a vision. Since then, I've been hearing sounds with no source and seeing things that aren't there. Yeah, so I'm looking into the people's souls and looking into their past. Seek help for your condition. This is not the illness that struck me at the wagon. This is something new. An affliction of the mind, perhaps. With luck, someone in Gilded Veil will know what to do. The magistrate advised me to get some rest while I wait for permanent accommodations. That may be the best thing to put an end to this illness as well. Okay, so it is back to the tavern, to the Black Hound Inn, which, by the way, I hope I'm still moving. I have... No, okay. When did I get that? I have this as a pet, so I have 2 pets now.
Good day, stranger.
I'd like a room. Lasts for 2 rests. I think a common room will do just fine, but wait, what is this? +2 resolve, huh? Yeah, this will do fine for now. I really like that. I'm drinking this Korean tea that I got from the Korean flight that I was on when coming back to America. And it's actually pretty good. Inns allow characters to rest without using camping supplies. Cheap rooms are usually available, but if you have copper to spend, you may consider the more expensive options. The bonuses they provide last for a long time and affect the entire party. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree, with all the hanging corpses, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. I see this, and even when I was there, I just kind of think of the first Conjuring movie, where there was a witch or someone accused of being a witch, was hung, or she hung herself on the tree. But not only that, I think even when what was her name? I can't remember the character name anymore, but it was Farminga. Last name was Farminga. The woman, the one who was married to Ed and Lorraine. When she first looked upon the property and the house and turned around and saw the tree, I believe she saw a bunch of corpses hanging from the tree, just like this. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face has shriveled inward like moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Oh, man. Suddenly her head snaps up and her eyes open. They're empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes her stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with gusts of rancid air, she speaks a word. Watch her. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an Animancer. Though it fills you with a new queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead. So maybe I have to go up to that tree. It's really good. So logically, I think, since I saw her hanging from that tree, I should go to that tree. Right there. Her name, okay. Caldara de Baranzi. The squat. Distended distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bough that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hand, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. You take a deep breath. See, now I'm putting that new ability to use, right? You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and a hanging woman, and when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear, or have you gotten lost?
Her eyes squint as she peers down.
It is both, I think. Yes?
Her eyes squint as she peers down at you. I'm lost and I'm also here for her, right? I'm no stranger to, the mysticism and, reaching beyond the veil. So I don't have to bother with any of those. I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there?
Yes, exactly that.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
She nods again. And a watcher you will stay. What exactly is a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many Animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Aedyr stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as
Ghosts.
you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how.
Yeah, see, this is kind of like, what do you call that? Being reborn again. What is that word? There's some religions that believe in that. Recycling the soul. And there's a movie, about that called The Return. I think the word was called, hold on. Oh, I can't believe oh no. I exited the game. Here we are. Whoops. Yeah. I can't believe I've forgotten what that was called. Recycling the Soul. Well, anyways, the movie is called The Return, and it stars Sarah Michelle Gellar. It also stars Sam Shepard in a minor role. But it was a pretty good movie. You know, it didn't do so well, I think, in the theaters, and maybe some of the people didn't quite get it. But it was about that. The whole theme was that, and I think people were just expecting a straight up ghost story, but there was more to it than that in that film. I'm sorry, I have to know what that was called. It's called the Buddhist monks believe in it, and it is called, hold on. When you die, it's called Reincarnation. That's what she's talking about here, and that movie, The Return, is about reincarnation. So, like I said, it's more than just like a straight-up ghost story. In a way, it wasn't really quite about that. So, but that's why I loved it. You know, it was different, and I loved it for what that film was.
A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them. Know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder.
Tell me more.
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprouts from one of her cheeks.
You should
asked, what do
see
you
old
mean?
Meerwald. He could tell you much more than I.
Here.
A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far.
Kid, no, I remember that.
Beyond the Black
I remember
Meadow.
going there too.
He will welcome the company.
There's one other thing I should tell you, and I don't know if you'll be able to answer it for me, but I believe I have survived a bivouac. Do you know what that is?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
Caldara appraises you with scholarly interest for a moment before resuming her cheerful demeanor.
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean.
Sadly,
Called
I
them.
thought.
Those days are all behind me, no?
We called them in the trade. She smiled sadly at a thought. Called them. She means, yeah, she forgot because she's dead, right? You said souls break apart over time. I want to know something about you. Yeah, tell me about yourself. Who were you in life?
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
She shakes her head in protest. Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Vailian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
What happened to you? She laughs, a rasping, choked cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself. And I'm kind of close by to Aedyr, so I wonder what he must be thinking of all of this. If this maybe will catch his attention or something, or I doubt he sees what I see. I don't even know if Eothas sees it, but I think all they see is me talking, to some corpse.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
Tell me.
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul.
So it makes no sense why she would have problems having a...
but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
He had you killed because he was impatient. I see. Well, that sucks. Tell me again, what is an Animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are.
Yeah, so they've given you Animancers a bad reputation, just talking behind your backs, and I guess now that you're dead, or maybe most of you are all dead, they can say whatever they want, and there's really no one else around to defend you guys, so...
But the best of us? The best? Inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins, miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an Animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Dyrwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Vailian
Dyrwood, not
Republics
Dyrwood,
for
okay.
many things,
I have to remember that.
but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
Okay, well, I bid thee farewell.
Goodbye, my dear.
And I thank thee for thy help.
Visiting.
Caldara closes her eyes, and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. Melora was granted Crucible of the Soul. Very nice. Eothas looks at you through narrowed eyes. Oh, are you all right? You seemed lost just now. Look at this. This happens a lot. You'll have to get used to it. I'm a watcher, apparently. Oh, look, yeah, and here's Aedyr. His arched eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that's interesting. He gives you a sly grin, and I expected that explains how you survived a bivouac. In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you happen to know anything about the Watchers? Only that they're rare, and that they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions, as you just demonstrated. Well, let us continue. Very nice. This was great. And look, leveled up. I will save it. Okay. I think I'll add this. It is November 14. So I'm giving, the date in the real world, right? So, I can, it'll help me recall instead of trying to put in whatever date it is in the game world. It's better this way. I think her name was Caldera. A dead dwarf. Animancer hanging from the tree that I am a watcher. Someone able to speak with the dead and gain insight from them. Is that good enough? Okay, I will also hard to save it. I think that's really, really cool. Let's go
17
ahead.
and a half.
Hey, okay. 17 and a half. Is that what? How long I was out of it? Because it seemed longer. The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, wins its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, which I've met him before, but his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
Oh, 17. How many corpses were hanging on the tree? I should maybe try to count them, right? I'm sorry?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What are you...
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
You're a very dark person. Aloth frowns. Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Aedyr. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than
He looks
22.
you up and down
tops.
and grimaces.
You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22. 23 tops. He looks you up and down and grimaces. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22. 23 tops. Makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman.
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Oh, whoops. What makes you think that I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you a moment, his brow arched, his smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her.
He took
Twice
notice
I
of
refilled
that.
my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack, I took you for a Radric at first.
Impossible. I don't drool half as much. I've been... tell me, or should I? I'll keep this to myself for now because he's not really part of the team just yet. I've been out of sorts lately. Of course, we all got our bad days when we stand perfectly still and stare at corpses for a while without blinking. He winks. Oh, I don't want to say this, but say, listen, I'm just kind of curious. Do you happen to know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Let's not use that
Glances
word around
quite
here.
quickly, then leans in.
There'll be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, Animancers, Watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here. Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're going to be hanged? Not supposed to be. None taken. Good. They don't mean it personal when they hang folks here. I have to remind myself.
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fella who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
My headman on the farm used to be my captain during... Oh. What does your town have against you? The war. Saints' War. Only one in my lifetime. Fella decides he's the living incarnation of Eothas. Overthrows Readceras. Readceras. Marches on Dyrwood. So we gave him a Dyrwoodane hello. And what is that?
Blew him up.
He smiles at this, but it is his smile of one recounting a joke for effect rather than enjoyment. And who is Eothas? God of rebirth and redemption, right? Reincarnation, right? Formally, anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. What was your hand? Why was your headman hung or hanged? Get involved. Got involved. Redrick sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority. Someone in town was working with Kulsek, plotting Redrick's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman. He steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head. Sounds like number 18 being hung. That was kind of recent. So 19, the dwarf, Caldara, very recent, I guess. That whole thing of when I was coming into town and was it like a bell or some kind of sound that alerted saying that there isn't going to be an heir? It might have been around that time, She wasn't able to figure out the reason why she wasn't able to conceive a child, But even, she said that she kept saying that she's afflicted with something, even though when she examined her, she was absolutely healthy. So she was still trying to figure out, what was really wrong with her. Or she couldn't, give birth to a child. Couldn't have a baby. Or rather, not couldn't have a baby. Why the baby? There were complications to the birth, right? Because, she was pregnant, and I think she was in the process of giving birth, and then the baby died. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for plotting against Roderick, then for protecting me. Tell me, who's Kulsek? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. And why does this town have against you? Or what does this town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Eothas worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Dyrwood's doorstep.
Widewind, okay.
Says he's the living flesh of Eothas. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Eothas isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Eothas. He enlisted, and then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Eothas worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me.
And they did.
Seems that's no longer a concern.
He looked up at the tree,
Of course,
his eyes trailing one
Townies
of the
don't do
swing
the hanging
bodies.
these days, but when Raedric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Owleth glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? He gives a half smile, drinking mostly. I see. Point of fact, I'm on my way out, just haven't figured where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Waidwin's legacy started with Waidwin. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Waidwin's legacy started with Waidwin. Well, you need not travel alone. Safety in numbers. This is my new friend Eothas. I am a lawyer. Perhaps we could travel together. Strength in numbers. Where are you headed? Someplace called Cade Nua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
I seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd
Something
be things
kindles
I'd
in
want to ask
Aedyr's
him.
eyes.
Don't know why I never thought of it before.
And the vigor of purpose finds its way into his voice, so he's kind of intrigued and starting to... It's like the very start of him finding, a purpose, something to keep him busy, meaning to his life, I suppose. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know. So this is why. So even he has questions to ask.
Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
What? But truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree? You might be the only one in town who... I don't want to see him being hanged, but he scratches his beard absently with a calloused thumb. There's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
All right then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing.
He glances briefly at the tree.
You're not the one picking the sights.
He tilts his head forward and gives you a pointed look. Then let us go. It is good to have you join us. So great. Okay. So now I will quick save it. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is an excellent place to end it. It went on a little bit longer than I thought. So I'll quickly say I hope you guys enjoyed and goodbye.